According to the FIA, every Formula One team has modified their vehicles in a variety of ways to meet the particular difficulties presented by the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. Monaco is a very difficult course for drivers and teams alike because of its tight turns and numerous alterations that must be made to the vehicle, primarily to increase downforce. F1 teams make adjustments before the challenging Monaco test. Here are the alterations that each of the 10 teams has made to their runners in order to be ready for the race. Red Bull. Red Bull, the reigning world champions who triumphed here the previous year, have extended both their front and beam wings in an effort to increase downforce. Additionally, 2 modifications have been made to the front corner. The top wishbone fairing notch for steering has been altered for dependability, and a circuit-specific larger inlet for brake cooling has been added. Max Verstappen has responded to Lando Norris's suggestion that he could be in the running for the F1 2024 title, arguing that Red Bull's experience makes them very tough to beat to the World Championship. I can just speak from my experience in Formula One, where I think, over time, you get a lot more experience. I think you know how to handle certain situations a bit better. Plus, being at the front for quite a few years, and as a team, the way we operate, I think it can make a difference to teams that are trying to chase that. We just try to stay calm and collected. We know that over the last few races, teams have been catching up or have beaten us. So of course we want to try and improve as well. But I do think with the experience that we've had over the last few years, it makes us a very tough team to beat in a championship because we don't make many mistakes. You try to always optimize everything, and that applies, I think, to life in general. You keep on learning, you keep trying to be better. But I think that does make us very dangerous in a championship fight. Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton clarified that Mercedes also altered their beam wing and rear wing in an effort to increase downforce. Additionally, a modification to the floor body has raised the local inboard floor volume, increasing the local flow acceleration and producing additional load. A bigger chord inboard flap and a redistribution of the main plane chord on the front wing represent the last changes. Although Lewis Hamilton holds the record for the most pole positions in Formula One 104, the Briton last added to his tally at the 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix. He did place second in sprint qualifying at the Chinese Grand Prix this season, but he hasn't yet qualified for a Grand Prix on the first 2 rows. Additionally, he has only triumphed over Russell once in 7 qualifying sessions, lagging behind his countrymen in their head-to-head qualifying match. Only once in the 2014 season has Hamilton lost that battle due to Nico Rosberg's superior qualification. The British driver maintains he is unconcerned. I wouldn't say it's not been a priority, but the whole weekend has been the priority to improve everywhere, he told media, including PlanetF1.com, in the build-up to the Monaco Grand Prix weekend. But particularly since the end of last year and then all this year, it has been pretty bad on a Saturday, but it is what it is. I'm going to continue to work on it, and so far I haven't gotten to a strong place, but there are plenty of races left to sort that out. There's plenty of time iron out all of the creases in my performance, and the cars. I'm not getting too hung up on it, my race performance is pretty decent, so fortunately I can fall back on that. Ferrari with the SF24. Ferrari has only made one modification to the rear wing, a higher downforce design that includes a more loaded top and lower rear wing main and flat profiles. The team entered the Imola GP with a new upgrade package last week, which didn't provide the results that all the Ferrari fans expected. McLaren. To generate additional downforce for the Monaco circuit, McLaren, who will be sporting a Senna homage livery this weekend, also modified the beam and rear wings. The McLaren crew will also be dressed in Senna-inspired team gear for the Monaco weekend, with race drivers Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris donning custom overalls. Together with Senna Global and OKX, McLaren's partner, they created the livery. Aston Martin, and one of the few teams that seems to have upgraded rather than just altered, is Aston Martin. The 2 modifications are on the beam wing and rear wing, respectively. Because of this circuit geometry's reduced efficiency, the team says that the modifications made to the back and beam are more aggressive, which increases local suction for increased loads and is acceptable. Several teams showed up to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola with a comprehensive upgrade package, including Aston Martin, although the AMR24 battled with performance all weekend. Although theoretically, the AMR24's modifications didn't seem to be successful, Alonso clarified that the new components have advanced the vehicle, Other teams have simply achieved greater success. Despite this, the team hasn't turned its back on them. "I think we dropped in performance relative to the others," he told media. "I think we increased the performance that our car had, but the others seemed to make a step a little bit bigger than us. We dropped a little bit in terms of positions. In my case, I think I was not perfect in those two races. I was not driving well enough in Miami and in Imola. I think it was more the search for answers that drives me sometimes. On a weekend that I know the goals will not be good enough to satisfy us or myself, when you're not fighting for top 5 or top 7 or whatever. Sometimes you switch into a setup or test weekend, because to finish P9, I'd prefer to fix the problems of the car, give up that weekend, and start from scratch at the next one. I think this is what happened in Imola a little bit, which on one side is good because maybe you accelerate a little bit the fix of the problems." Alpine. While the modifications to the front, rear and beam wings are all circuit-specific, Alpine has also made some intriguing adjustments to other areas of the vehicle. In order to give greater road wheel angle for the same steering wheel angle compared to the standard outboard track rod position, the team first adjusts the front track rod of the front suspension. A larger maximum road wheel angle is necessary because of the unique properties of the track. The second modification involves realigning the halo vanes on both sides of the cockpit. The team claims that by doing this, the flow out of the cockpit will be more outwashing, which will enhance the flow to the rear wing and rear beam wing assembly. Williams. Williams' modifications to the rear wing and beam wing, which are distinctive to their own circuits, are remarkably identical to those done by the other competitors. They have altered the front corner with a sizable front brake duct scoop to improve cooling, just as Red Bull. Logan Sargent said that he is focusing on what he can control this weekend in Monte Carlo when asked about his future, given that others have been connected to the position he now holds. "At the end of the day, I'm focused on my job," Sargent told media in Monaco. "I spend more time than I need to do with the engineers. I look at my driving. I look at the data across cars." RB. Along with the usual rear wing and beam wing modifications, RB also altered the front suspension. According to the statement, the suspension legs, which sit in an area of high upwash from the front wing and can be prone to separation, will have better flow attachment thanks to modifications and incidence adjustments made to the profiles of the suspension members. The cooling duct on the front corner has been extended to improve cooling, marking the final modification. F1 Stake. In addition to making a rear wing end plate lateration, Stake also performed identical modifications to the front suspension, front corner, rear wing, and beam wing. To increase efficiency, they have added disconnected tips to the rear wing end plate. Haas. Haas has altered the cooling loops to be broader in addition to making equivalent adjustments to the front suspension, rear wing, beam wing, and front corner. Which one of those upgrades you think will give its team the major advantage that needs this weekend in Monaco? Let us know in the comments down below.